Of course, we are waiting for that Uber IPO. Looking at live pictures here of the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. That is where they are trying to make the book, get that issue out the door. $46 to $48 is the indicated range right now for where shares of Uber may open for trade. Essentially, the plain English version of this means that as they look to get all 180 million of those shares spoken for, 46 to 48 is the price where they're finding the most activity. Of course, you and I don't really have access to that money, but if you were a hedge fund or you were Fidelity and you wanted to buy 10 or 20 million shares, you have someone down there on the floor right now speaking on your behalf, trying to get that initial allotment as the company seeks to go public. Well, down on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange is Ines Ferre. Ines, certainly a lot of activity behind you since we last spoke. Have not seen a new indication, any rumblings from down there on the floor that you can share with us?
No, I did speak to one trader who told me, 46 to 48 as the indication paired on 8 million shares. He said to me, it is early. As you know, earlier, John Tuttle from the New York Stock Exchange was also saying that they are going to take their time. This could take until 12 p.m. But certainly, just to look at these indications and to see what they're at right now is interesting. One of the traders here earlier telling me that $45 was conservative, but they just felt like it was, given the markets, given the environment, given what happened to Lyft, and also given the fact that Uber wants this to be somewhat long-term for investors, of course, that it was wise to price those shares at $45. And looking at just the S1 statement, I found just things that were interesting in the S1 statement. So there's no B shares. It's one vote, one share here being offered. And also looking at some of the S1 filing risks that the company has spoken about, besides competition, also if their drivers were to be classified as employees. And so we've spoken a lot about this issue, about the issue that they have had with drivers. They do, though, address in their S1 filing that they have really tried to create perks for these drivers. They had added tipping, they have Uber Pro, but one of their concerns in this filing was the risk of how the company would be adversely affected if those drivers were to be classified as employees. And there's been lawsuits, and they've also set aside money for arbitration demands regarding that issue. Miles?
All right, and that's Ferre live on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. We're joining